Hello, what's up? So, the other day I made a post about this Stereo Realist about shooting techniques, and I know I've posted this before on my personal account, but I'm going to show you how to load the camera, and basically, like, just if you don't know how to put film in the camera, you're never going to shoot it. So, like, that's the most basic thing that you have to do. So, this, and by the way, I'm, like, you know, you can see I have my little adapter thing that I didn't, like, file that thing off before, but I'm going out at night right now, so I need a flash, and, like, I have, like, so many cameras to test. It's, like, not even funny. So, like, I'm just, like, whatever. And just so everybody knows, like, I'm trying to check if this, like, camera is fully operational and I can use it for a class, da-da-da-da. So I'm not going to, like, really be out shooting for, like actually taking pictures. I just need to see if the camera works. So I'm just using, like, a roll of film I'm just using the cheapest, like, roll of film I could get, which is a Camera 100, and it's just, like, black and white print film, and, like, you know, I'm not even going to do anything with it. I'm just going to check to make sure that everything works fine. So anyway, so this is Stereo Realist, and by the way, when I was talking about bad design and bad, this is actually the most well-designed camera. It is a tank. It is made out of, like, 500 pounds of, like, Tonka grade steel or something like that. It's aluminum, actually. But if you can't use a camera, if you can't use any product, if a product is designed that you can't use, you can't use it. And so this is what I'm really trying to get over, because there's a difference between like, you know, construction or, like, quality. Like, you know, if you have there are very shoddy cameras that are made, and like, you know, they'll fall apart or they'll malfunction or pieces will fall off and, like, you can't use them. You know, there are really well designed cameras that are really, like, you know, this is one of them. But if you can't use it, you're not going to use it. And so this is what I'm trying to get over. So there's a lot of stuff going on here, right? These major things that you have to know about basically is, so the first thing is this little dial thing over here. That is the, it has an A and it has an R on it. And you can twist this, and depending on if it's pointing to the R, that means rewind. So you can rewind your film. If it's pointing to the A, which we're going to be doing, that means advance. So that's, like, you know, you move to the next one and then shoot. Move to the next one and shoot. That's what advances. And then this thing over here, this, like, crazy little clock dial, that's actually your frame counter. So you're going to set that on 0 when you actually put your film in and you start winding, so you know how many frames that you shot. And this is your shutter button over here. This is, like, if you had to warn you of double exposure, I think. And these are your lenses, and this is your shutter speed over here. It's set with this dial in the middle, and this one, some of them have, like, different settings. This one goes T, goes B. B is for bulb, so, like, you hold the shutter open, it'll hold open as long as you can. You could use a cable release if you find one. And by the way, a Bolex cable release, there's, like, no such thing as, like, Stereo Realist cable releases anymore, unfortunately. But they have a very proprietary straight thread design, and I was at a camera show a couple of years ago and, like, found out that, like, Bolex has that one too. So, like, we all rejoiced as stereographers that day at Film Camera Ones. And anyway, so this is the back of your camera. This is, like, that's like either your composing lens and your focusing lens. These are your range finders right here, which I'm blocking naturally with my hand, because who doesn't hold something in their hand like that, especially when it's heavy? You don't want to go like that with something heavy. I just don't understand. And I have a whole theory at it now. I'm going into conspiracy, like territory. But this is your focusing wheel, so you have to have this not covered when you're focusing, because this actually is going to be merging these two images that you see into split screen, which is what your focus is. That's what your split screen focus is over here. And what else? And oh, okay. And this is your these are your f-stops. So, and actually what this does, this is not like a regular camera. These lenses stay in place. Actually, let me show you. So first of all, let's open up the camera. So this camera is locked, and I gotta unlock it. So I, like, turn this, like, I mean, like, it's like cracking a safe, you know? And it, poops, pops off. You want to know why? Because there is this is called a pressure plate, and this pushes the film up against the camera. It's so, like, you wish every single camera was this well designed. You just don't wish it was this heavy. And by the way, this is like the inside of the camera part. That's your viewfinder, and that's your focusing screen. Really? Okay, thank you. It's like as if somebody took like army surplus parts like from World War II and like, you know, oh, let's just like, you know, slap some lenses on it and people will have to use it as a camera. You have no other option for stereo. So this is where your film is going to go, like we're going to load it into. But when you turn these, it doesn't, first of all, this is, excuse me, I'm saying that wrong, excuse me. This is your f-stop, I'm so sorry. This is opening and closing your iris depending on how much light you're going to let in. So like, you know, if you want it like a lot of light, you're going to put it all the way down to like 3.5. If you have a 2.8, good for you. And you know, you go all the way up to 22. And like, you know, this is your shutter speed, and you're always going to adjust your aperture and your shutter for whatever speed film that you have. And when you have something like 100 film, that's like low speed. Like you could get like lower speed if you like, I don't even think they sell it anymore, but like, you know, basically it needs more exposure time to like get a proper exposure, because it's it just doesn't expose as fast. And so this actually, when you do your focus over here, this actually moves the what is it called? Oh my god, the film plane. This will move it up and down, and that's how it actually focuses. It doesn't move the lenses. It actually moves the plane of field. I mean, it moves your film plane closer and farther away from the lenses, and that's how it focuses. It's a like you know, like you know, I have theories, but anyway. So this is how you load this. So on this side, you can pop that up, and I'm gonna have to do this backwards. How am I gonna do this? I'm gonna go like that, I guess. So you load this upside down, because this is like a little spindle in here, and that's going to catch the hole in your film. So you go like that, and you go boop, right, boop, and you go stop, right. This part is very important. You have to kind of like slide it with your finger, because this thingy over here, you see that it's like a little tiny, like it looks like a little pie wheel or something like that. This actually needs to catch. And this is when it's very important that you have it set, excuse me, on rewind, because that means that you can just like move this part as you wish. See, it lets me turn it now, right? But if I didn't have it on that, it wouldn't let me turn. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe I have that backwards. My bad. I said that wrong. It should be on the ends. And I'm just gonna watch me like not be able to do this right now. Get in there. Okay. So sorry for not being able to show you. It's very hard to load. There's this like little tiny piece of metal. Let me see if I can, oh, let me put more light. There's this little tiny, I don't know if you can see it. There's like the film is shiny, but it's right there. Your film sprocket, your sprocket holes, it needs to be caught in that little tiny pie wheel. That's what's going to wind your film in the sprocket, and it needs to stay there underneath this. There's a good chance that like your pictures might be out of focus, or like something like, you know, it was designed to slide under this like very like little tiny, like not even like you know, like a 1/20th of a millimeter like space. And so this is a very important part of loading your camera, loading your Stereo Realist, excuse me. At this point, when like my film's like kind of like creeped through a little bit, I'm just going to make sure that my film counter is going to be like set to like 0, or like, you know, like something. If I set it to 36, like, you know, it's 0-ish to me. Like, you know, I'm not going to kill anybody, and like, you know, but you want it set to 0 if you want to like count all your frames properly and stuff like that. And you know something, I like shooting a Stereo Realist. I think I can only shoot a Stereo Realist, to be honest. There are other cameras that are a lot easier. The TDC Colorist is one of them, and a lot of people really like that camera. You can shoot a point and shoot. You can shoot like a Nimslo, or an Ashika, or like any sort of like 3-lens like lenticular camera. There's a lot of different options, and these all have stereo mounts made for their format, made for like, you know, the different size frames. So right now, I'm like kind of, it's a little difficult to do this wheel. It's like, you know, just like underneath like a fingernail width. So it's very hard to turn. But right now I have that on 35, and there's an arrow right here. Can you see that? There's an arrow pointing this way, and it's pointing at the number 35. So I know when I wind my film, it'll go to 1. So, because it'll go around the clock. So right now, I'm just like sliding it in, and this is what you do. And I'm going to go like that. And when you advance this camera, excuse me, mine's stuck between, see this one saying it's a pain in the ass, but it's so fucking worth it. And so this part has a little slit in it. And I'm just going to turn this wheel until I see that slit. When I see that slit, I'm going to put this little film leader in here. Maybe. And let's see. Come on. Okay, so here you go. And I'm just going to keep on turning that. I'm going to keep on turning that. I'm going to keep on turning that. I'm going to keep on turning that. Keep on turning. And at this point, I'm going to put this back on. And you can actually put this on upside down and like be like, where the hell are like my viewfinders? And like that's like, you shouldn't be able to do that, you know? Like it shouldn't just like go like, oh, like what's wrong with my camera? How come I can't see out of it? Because there's no windows down there, like, you know? So you have to like shove it in and like kind of catch it, and then it like pops like that, and then you lock it. I think this like halogen light, I think it's like making me hot, excuse me. I'm turning that off right now. I'm like getting like sweaty under it. So now I have film in a camera. I can finally go out and shoot, right? And since I have that on rewind right now, I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna turn that to advance. And so now it's in advance. I can wind it. When I wind it, you'll be able to see this side move. See the way that's moving? That's how you can always tell if you have film in the camera, because you can't tell. There's like no window or anything like that. So if you're advancing and like the winder turns as you're doing it, you have film in your camera. And since I set it at 35, now it's on 1. How convenient. And probably it still has something exposed, but like, you know, like I'm just like whatever. So and you can hear that's a great sound. That's one of my favorite sounds. Okay, and then, you know, go like that. I'm gonna cock my shutter. I'm gonna set it at When you have a flash, it's very easy to do your settings, because like, you know, it pretty much like just blankets it in like whatever light. It like, where am I shooting? Like, come on. So I'm just gonna put this on like 4 and something and put it on like it's 100. I'm gonna put it on 50. And they cock? Okay. And now I have to go like this, because like that's how I have to hold it. And I'm going to go look through this, and then I'm going to go look through the other one, and I'm going to focus my camera, and I'm going to go like this until I get one solid image. You obviously can't see what I'm seeing, but I promise you it's one half of your screen and the other half of your screen going like that. And that's what it looks like to focus on it. That's what a rangefinder is. It's like a surveying tool. It is a surveying tool. And once I get that, and if you move, you might have to focus your camera again. So don't be moving around. And actually, I was moving around. So I'm going to focus again. And I'm a little off, so I'm going to go back. And by the way, I have to see if this might be even too close, because I'm right next to the phone. But whatever. So, and how long did that just take? I mean, like I was talking and blah, 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 blah. But that's a little time. So when you're getting into stereo photography, be very conscious of like what type of experience that you want with the camera, and what level of determination and dedication and devotion that you want to give to it. And that's going to like determine, and also like, you know, your skill, like what you know, like, you know, you might want an automatic camera. You might want something more like a Nemslo, and like you could still shoot exactly the same. I mean, you can't shoot prints exactly the same, but anyway, so that's that. So if you have a stereo realist at home, you can't make it to New York and take a class, I hope that will help you. That's pretty much everything that you really need to know, and to operate it and to get started. And when you're clearing off your film, like, I mean, your flash, just like clear it afterwards, like whatever. And that's it. And I'll talk to everybody later. Bye.